Hey guys, Scott Gallagher here with Local Marketing Source, and we're starting our live cast today. I've got an exciting live cast. We got a guest that we're bringing on the line through Skype. I was having some of my challenges trying to get that to work, and I've got a nice presentation for you in regards to some of the changes on how to get a local business ranked #1 on Google, and how to handle this new concept of AMP, accelerated mobile pages. So I will be talking about that in a little bit. Just give me a few moments here just to get everything together. I want to make sure that my guest is ready and that I've got PowerPoint and everything going. I apologize if there's any mistakes or errors in this presentation. Trying a lot of different pieces of software working together to make all of this work, and we can do a lot of different things. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and share my desktop. I wanted this configured a little bit differently than I have it right now, so I apologize for this. And I will go ahead and hit that over there, and you should be able to still see me, and I will start the presentation here. I don't really want to be using two displays, but it appears that I am. Let's just make sure that we're working everything properly. And yeah, that is coming through. That's good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this presentation going. I can see people. Some of you guys are coming online right now. That's good. Thanks for your patience in getting going here. And while I am displaying this presentation, I'm not able to see myself on the screen, but I know that I am, so I'll remember to look into the camera and say hi to you guys. And if it wasn't for this cable, you know, I do have a wireless lavalier mic, and it frustrates me because the Mac computers, you need a little device like this, and you see how that little USB is a little bit wider? That means I can't put in my camera. So it's either my wireless lavalier mic or my camera and this headset. But for anybody that doesn't know me, I'm going to fly through some of this right now. I don't want to waste time in who I am and what do I do and all these different things. But I did spend a lot of money on university. In 2005, I started my first business in the United States because I moved here after becoming a father. I couldn't work right away, and that created One Marketing, which is my agency. In 2009, I started teaching what I did with One Marketing to Local Marketing Source, and founded NAPAREX. It is a national parcel delivery company. And my real passion is in teaching. I really enjoy teaching and create a lot of different videos and whatnot. Have had over thousands of students that have gone through the program. Most recently, one of our students has reached the Inc. 5000 for one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. He started with 0 customers, 0 employees. He now has 30 customers and 30 employees plus, and well over 100 different clients that are paying them about $1,000 a month. Again, like a lot of these people that teach online, you got to create your credibility, and you want to hear what people are saying about you. We've got all the testimonial videos and whatnot. We've got hundreds of different testimonials of great things, of different people that have come through the program and whatnot. I am going to bringing on one of our students in about 10 minutes and share some of their experiences and whatnot. But we're not going to sit here and listen to this video right now. You can absolutely choose to listen to me or not based off of what people have said. Now, what we're talking about today is search marketing services, local SEO for local businesses. How to get a local business #1 on organic aspects of the search engines, primarily Google, because of the market share that Google has. Well, for most local businesses, this is the #1 source of driving new leads, hands down, period, especially over the last couple of years. And so when you start working with these businesses, you're going to change people's lives. Unfortunately, one of my clients this week just informed me that she sold one of her locations. She's a dentist. Unfortunate for me, because that's less revenue for my business. But what feels really good is she attributes the growth of her business in the last 3 years. She purchased a couple of different locations. She started with one doctor in one location. Legally, right now, she's got 3 locations and 4 doctors selling one location, unfortunately. It changes people's lives dramatically. You have a tremendous amount of value to your clients, and this could allow us to command some good prices. When SEO is done properly, search engine optimization, somewhat as a manipulation of the search engines and satisfy their needs so businesses are ranked. Let's get this straight right now. At Local Marketing Source, SEO is bullshit. We don't manipulate the search engines. We're a marketing agency. That's why we talk about search marketing as opposed to search engine optimization. But the ultimate results ultimately are to get your business or your practice or your listing #1 on Google. Now, like I'd mentioned, I do a lot of teaching. We've got a lot of different videos and contents. If you go and check our YouTube channel, we've got some free videos on the sale process. This one slide right here, I could spend an entire hour on. I really am just going to spend an entire 60 seconds on it and just go through just the sale process. We're not really here to talk about sales. We're here to talk about the execution, and that's getting. But you've got to get clients in order to build an agency. And following standard B2B sales processes or practices is where you should be looking. And having an understanding of, okay, who am I going after? Who's my target audience, whether you're niche-based or local-based or whatnot. I think I could pull up, yeah, you see. You know, how are you going to approach qualified leads? How are you going to earn the trust with qualified leads? You know, for example, we use a book like this. All of my students get access to this book. They print it. They put their name on it, you know, update their back, and, you know, send that off to their, you know, in this case here, this one's written for chiropractors. But that absolutely gets you the authority while educating the prospects with it. The bottom line is the hardest part of this business is to earn the right to a 15-minute analysis. That's it. You want 15 minutes of their time. And if you can get 15 minutes of their time, you're going to close 1 in 3 prospects, period. So 30% closing ratio. That's what you should expect with walking in and getting those analysis. So the sale process really is all about getting this analysis. Bottom line, proposals and whatnot, going for the close and the follow-up. Now, just real quickly here, there's something that we train, and it's called the SEO Sales Trail. And it's really, it's a business-to-business process, and it's 3 steps. And it's 1, creating the pain for the prospect. This is that analysis once you're inside. This is the process that you want to go through. And, you know, pain creation is relatively easy to say, hey, look, Mr. Dentist, you're not ranking in the top 3 for dentist in Algonquin, Illinois. Oh, that hurts. That's hurting my business. I'm not getting all the business I could. Guess what, Mr. Dentist? We're going to throw some salt on this wound right now and show you why you're not ranking #1. Your competitors, well, they've got more profiles than you. Look at all the different profiles. They're listed here, 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 and here. Look at the reviews that they're getting. Look at the content exposure that they have, etc., etc. You show them reports for that. They've hurt. You throw some salt on the wound. You come in for the rescue, and you say, okay, guess what? I can get you #1 inside of 6 months on Google. It's going to yield you this many new phone calls per week, which is going to translate into X number of new patients or new clients per week. And let's agree that your average patient value, by the way, for dentists, is about $1,200, is about $1,200. I know, Mr. Dentist, that the range is between $300 and about $2,500. But even if we just pulled $1,000 out there, and I'm getting you 2 new clients a week, that's $2,000 a week in new revenue. You're probably running about a 50% margin. Would you say that? Actually, I'm running about 60. Okay, well, there you go, $2,000 a week. You're netting $1,000 in profit a week. My investment's only $1,000 a month. That means your return on investment is about 4 times. Okay? But I'm not here to teach you how to sell. I'm here to talk about the 3 pillars of local search and how important They are to local SEO. Think CPR. CPR. We all know CPR. I tell people internally, think of CPR because we're here to revive businesses. Right? What do those stand for? Well, if I had the animation right, that would have been the first one, which is content. Right there. P being profiles and R being reviews. Those are the three things that we focus in on. Now again, I can spend an hour or more on each one of these. As a matter of fact, I've got about 7 hours worth of training on all three of these on how to properly acquire. A lot of people struggle with the a lot of people struggle with the aspects of content. What am I seeing here? Okay, so I apologize for that. Where are those pages? All right, I'll jump over here, and I'll just do some of this manually because I'm not ready for my guest. But the three different aspects, we're going to talk about the profiles, content second, and reviews third. And essentially profiles, you know, there are best practices on profiles that should be done. Again, I'm not going to spend a lot of time in these things. You can see the NAP is something that's very, very important. You know, Marketing 101, one of the very first things we learned in marketing was brand consistency. And you think about McDonald's. They all look the same. Their food's the same. Their interiors are all the same. Brand consistency is very, very important. Making sure that you got similar colors. The description information is the same. Getting writing a compelling description. A lot of these profile sites look for 200 to 500 character descriptions. So how do you write an effective description? What's important that our search engines are looking for? You can't rank a business that does not have a physical address that customers or prospects can't go to. But the point being is there's best practices for creating profiles that are out there, and make sure you understand those best practices and maintain that consistency with establishing these profiles. Just a little example here of the different places that you can get these profiles. We get between 15 and 20 new profiles on a monthly basis for our clients, and we make sure that we've got a list of 49 different major data providers and profiles that we want to maintain at least a 75% full coverage of NAP consistency for that. And of the secondary data providers, we get between 15 and 20 per month for our clients. Now, content can be a lot of different things. Before we get into content, you really want to know what marketing means. And this is a marketing definition that comes from the American Marketing Association. And it really is the set of activities, institutions, processes to communicate and deliver an exchange of value that goes to customers, clients, partners, and society at large. In other words, it's about creating material and getting it in front of the right people that's going to reside with them. So my book, for example, creating a marketing message that's written specifically for chiropractors and delivered right to their desk. That's quality marketing. Throwing some mud at the wall is creating a billboard, and when 100,000 people drive by it, maybe 150 of them are going to be a potential buyer of that product, etc., etc. So content can mean a lot of different things, whether it's videos, press releases. I really like press releases. Let's get on to it right now. Articles, blog posts. Content technically could be profiles or citations that our industry calls them. It could be a business card. It could be a radio ad. It could be a lot of different things. And really what we're hoping to do is the search engines are hoping to see content that a business is creating, and that content is getting consumed. In other words, it may be getting shared. It may be getting likes. It may be getting views. It may be getting thumbs up. And really what we do as marketers is we create content. Well, first we've got to decide what content to create. Second, we create the content. And three, we put it where the people are. And we want the search engines to see that. So putting it where the people are, we call that propagation. And that's the key, is the effective propagation of it. So, back in the day, we'd go and I'd get somebody over in India to write an article for half a cent a word. we'd get a 400-word article, written for like $20. We'd give them a couple of keywords, and then we'd go and distribute that article to hundreds of different sites. Well, the search engines like to see that, and it ultimately got ranking. But the bottom line was that was really shitty marketing, because that person in India did not speak with the customer. They didn't fully understand their business. They wrote their content based off a keyword, and then they distributed it where people weren't. We can manipulate the search engines back in the day. But, ever since 2010, a lot of that has changed. And this is all about getting links. And we're not link building, because quality link building is going to get links naturally. So an example is a press release for a local business. And, okay, I'm working with a client that's got a Texas-based location. Well, they provided a donation to the local Red Cross to help the victims of Irma. We created a press release. We distributed that press release to several different publications, like the Dallas Business Journal. They published the press release to say a local business has made a donation and is helping people out. It's great. I like the aspects of donations for creating press releases, because the local newspapers are going to publish them all day long. One of my clients here locally is a drop-off point for a Salvation Army. It gave us an opportunity to create a press release, get it on their blog, propagate it through their social channels to get to Facebook and Twitter and all that jazz, and send it to the local newspaper and get it published. Pictures, images like that, they're very, very good. When you start thinking about articles now, for example, distribution of authority goes to two places: industry and local. It's that simple. Locally, you've got Chamber of Commerce, if they're a member of. You've got associations like the Diners Club, the Knights Club, the Columbus Knights. I'm thinking Vegas Golden Knights. I'm in hockey mode, man. Watched my first hockey game yesterday. I was so happy. Plus, my son had his first practice yesterday, and this year he's in travel, so it's really exciting. But now I got to shift my mind back, because I'm so passionate about that. Local distribution, the Chamber of Commerce is great places. The local newspapers, there's, here in Chicago, there's several different free publications that are out there. Those are easy to get into. And when you're creating content, you got to think about different things. You got to think about the publisher first off. Is it going to be an interesting read for their readers? If it's not, find a publication that it is going to be an interesting read. They're not going to publish crap. It's the bottom line. So, and the second place is industry-based publications. So if you're an attorney, for example, and you specialize in DUIs, let's say, you can create content of certain DUI cases that are going to help other attorneys. Well, what does that do? That establishes, and if you're published in attorney-based publications, attorney magazines or attorney blogs or forums, your authority as an attorney is going to go up. So that's content. Again, I can spend a lot of time in content and the strategies to create them, how to create them, and effectively. I'm just trying to give a high-level overview right now with a few key points. And finally, getting into reviews. Reviews are important. They have a lot of different benefits, that reviews, and they really do three different things. They influence the ranking of the business. They influence your conversion, the CTR, the click-through rate. And what's the third thing you think they influence? Service area establishment. You can create the area that your business is going to show up. You can increase that. So, and this comes directly from Google. Here's a snippet of information that indicates that reviews do influence ranking in different ways. It's not just positive reviews. There's quantity, there's quality, there's density, there's the velocity of reviews. All of these are different elements that we look at when we start to break down reviews. I did a webinar about a year ago on the breakdown of reviews that you may want to check out. It was a 90-minute webinar. It had about 30 different slides in it that look and broke down all the different reviews and review filters and all these wonderful things that so you can explain to clients on why their reviews aren't necessarily showing or what's what. We have a thing at Local Marketing Source called our, well, I get confused. It's the review acquisition strategy. I shouldn't have said that. Internally at One Marketing, we call it our RAP, review acquisition program. But you can download the review acquisition strategy from Local Marketing Source for free. You can give it to your clients and implement it. It is one of the bigger pieces to help rank a business. Every local business should have a review acquisition program in place. If you're a local business owner watching this right now and you don't have a review acquisition program in place, make sure you implement one. This is a document that's going to give you an overview of all the different things that are important to implement into a local business. And I'll just give you a second here to jot down that URL. I'm going to be giving you guys another URL in a bit, so hang tight. But that should allow you to download for free the review acquisition program. I've got a couple of other downloads for you as well that are going to be available. So now, with further ado, we are going to make an attempt to bring on a guest for the first time in Local Marketing Source history. And let me get back to my camera here. So I'm just going to go ahead and give Efrain a call. Let me tell you a little bit about Efrain. Efrain is a Local Marketing Source student. Started with 0 clients, has worked the system. He's been through the premium program, has created a variety of different content, done different implementation, done sales, got out there. We really don't have an agenda, and I intentionally did not create an agenda for a discussion with Efrain. I am really looking for an organic conversation, and of course at the same time testing, piping in somebody from Skype and running all of this and whatnot. So let me give him a call right now. And I'm hoping that all of my audio is going to be okay for all of this. And there, I have Efrain on the line. I don't see him quite yet. His camera's coming in. This is getting exciting. And I'm going to go and Efrain, are you there, buddy?
Scott, how's it going, bro?
Okay, there you are. You should be live on Facebook with me right now. I can see my CPU is just totally maxed out. Let me turn off my camera on your screen. And I know when we were testing this, I had this problem. I've got to get some new software, or new computer, I think. But honestly, dude, I love my Mac so much that I just need more video for it, and you can't upgrade the video card. So, how are you, man? I appreciate you you giving me the time today.
I'm doing great, man. Weather up here in Toronto is fantastic. It looks like summer came back. Yeah, still having a good time.
I'm in Chicago, and we're 88 degrees today. But what is that in Celsius? Take away 32 and divide by 2. That's probably like 25 degrees.
Okay, so yeah, similar weather, right?
Yeah, very similar. Just amazing. We're getting our hockey team together on Sunday to do a big water slide. This guy's got a 20-foot water slide that's 100 feet long on this big hill, and the kids just love it. It's going to be 90 degrees.
Wow, that almost sounds like an oxymoron, you know? Hockey team.
So, listen, I wanted to bring you on a little bit here just to show some of our public community and share some of your experiences that you have had with more so both getting clients and starting to deliver the service right from the ground up, because you were fresh when you started with Local Marketing Source. And you knew nothing about SEO. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. When I met you, which was already a few years back, yeah, I was completely new to SEO. I always saw the potential, and I know we've talked about this a little bit, but the power that you can have as a marketer to be able to put your product or your company up there first on Google, right? But yeah, when we first met, I had no idea about SEO.
That's pretty. It was pretty neat. I could remember in 2005 when I started, I was so excited about this, and I started talking to people about it, and they're like, "What?" I remember clients I did websites for, and they're like, "Well, I don't need to be found on the web." Okay, all right. And now, I was just at Riot Fest over the weekend, and during one of the concert, guys started asking me all these questions. I said, "Oh, I get businesses to the top of Google," and he's like, "Oh, SEO," and I'm like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, that's coming up more and more and more. I've got to change the way I talk to people about what I do. Now SEO is a mainstream fundamental that local businesses are thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think things have changed a lot over these last. Just if you look back over the last 5 years on on how things have changed in the perception of how much people are on their cell phones, on their mobiles. Like everything is changing so quickly and so rapidly that it's a bit of a challenge to almost keep up. But you're absolutely right. The perception of people or the general public, they're much more knowledgeable than they were even 5 or 10 years ago, right?
Yeah, it's amazing how much has changed in the last couple of years, 3, 4, 5 years. The understanding of local business owners and what they really need to do. And now that you mention mobile devices, there's more local searches done on mobile phones than there is on the desktop. It's about a 60-40 split. I can remember in 2009 we used to talk about how the yellow pages were shrinking. Well, now that just seems so far away.
I actually remember when you and I first met, we discussed the fact that you could have these smartphones, and this was a few years back when smartphones, I don't think they were even out. I think I had a Samsung, a flip phone. But I remember us discussing over a couple of beers on how we're going to have smart devices that will be able to like alert you of give you notifications of some sort when you go through a business or go here or go there. So yeah, man, it's been exciting to to see your premonitions.
Yeah, I like to have those when I do my calls and whatnot. Yeah, that was the introduction of some Bluetooth technology and items like that. But another thing that I've seen changed in this business was '05. I had to sell people on the fact that SEO was a thing and that SEO would work. Now I don't need to sell them on that. They already know that SEO is a thing and SEO is going to work. But I have to sell them on the fact that I'm the business they want to sign the bottom line with, that I am the right choice for them. I have to earn the right to their business. So the whole selling process of this service has also changed in a big way. Now the competition that we have as a small marketing agency dealing with these smaller businesses, I compete against Comcast, and I compete against the local newspapers and Yelp, and even in a sense against Google AdWords as indirect competition in different ways. Tell me a little bit about your experiences getting your most recent client, and what was the strategy that you had to employ to earn the right to their business.
Well, I think you hit the nail right on the head, as the expression goes, right? My last experience, the last client that I got, I came in pretty much to replace a company that was not doing a proper job for the client. They had gone through, I think it was 3 or 4 different companies over the last couple of years, and they were not happy with any of them. And through the sales process itself and talking to other people, they tell me, they get literally calls and flyers every single day soliciting the same service, well, the alleged same service that we provide. So going through the process of sitting down with the client, well, the lead at that point, and trying to create that differentiation and showing that I am different, that what I do is different, that it's not exactly the same thing that the other 4 people did. That was basically a challenge, because they've been burnt and they've had bad experiences. So now the selling process, in my case, was to actually change that perspective. The perspective that you're just going to be the number 5 on the long list, and I don't know when to stop. So changing that perspective of us, all of us being the same, and changing that bad first experience or bad first experiences, it is a challenge.
I just realized that the setting I have when I put you on full screen, they can't hear me talk. So I've got to jump back before I do anything, and I can see it's getting a little bit choppy. At the same time, managing comments here, it's a whole fun game. But earning credibility is absolutely critical, as you put it. It's, what were some of the things that you did that showed that you were a little bit different?
One of the main differentiating factors was, here, I'll show you right now, was my book with my picture there. That I think with the meetings that I've had, and especially with this last client, that was one of the main differences. To have the ability to actually go in there and tell them, hey, listen, I'm an actual published author. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And yeah, that was definitely a differentiating factor.
So, earning their trust and establishing your credibility is critical to get in the door to get that initial meeting.
Yes, absolutely. I think the way that I did, I actually went, and I still do, go door knocking on doors, and I go and I drop off the book, and I try to interact with whoever's on the front desk, so that I have some kind of rapport already with the practice. I'm not actually mailing anything at this point. I'm literally physically dropping by. Here's my book. This is me. This is my business card. This is my picture. My hair looks a little bit different, but still the same handsome dude.
Look at my
on the cover of the book. This is me. And yeah, like I know what I do.
And had you ever walked into a business before cold?
Never. You know what? The challenges, the emotional challenge that presents itself it's quite a different dimension. I remember the first time I'm literally parked outside the parking lot. It was a little bit sunny, so I had the AC running, but I was sweating bullets. I'm like, what am I going to tell them? And I know you and I have gone through the script and through everything and through more or less what's the message that we want to deliver. But that emotion, that raw emotion of actually being in there and then not trying to go into your own head and being like, oh, what if they kick me out? What if, I don't know, they call the cops? Like all these scenarios, crazy scenarios that could run into your head. And it's just that emotional roller coaster of getting past that hurdle, opening that door and going in and being like, hey, I'm Efrain. This is my book. This is what I do. And I would love for to talk to the doctor. And if he or she is not available, in my case, as you know, I do my agency specializes in dentists. So yeah, if the doctor, he or she is not available, then can you please make sure they get this?
Yeah. And when you're leaving something physical that's specific to them in different ways, chances are they're going to get it. Now, we talk about 3 different ways to get clients. We talk about the least expensive and the easiest way is the rawest way that you discussed. We talked about direct mail and, of course, electronic follow-ups and sequential follow-ups in that way. And then finally, as you start to get to a different level, you can start doing speaking engagements at industry events and whatnot. There could be 100 different ways for you to go out and get clients. Well, with my 25 years of business-to-business sales experience, I've always known that, heck, if I want to go get new business, cold calling is a way. And a lot of people are so flippin' scared to do it. And I'll never forget the first time, and it was actually in Toronto. The Scotia Plaza?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's 88 floors. It's right, where, is it off of Yonge Street, or maybe it's Yonge and King, or somewhere around Yonge and King, I think.
It's on King Street. It's a King and Bay, more or less.
King and Bay, all right. Well, Yonge and Bay Street, for anybody that knows Toronto, run parallel to one another. And my office was on Bay Street. And Bay Street, Toronto, is like the Wall Street of Canada. It's the financial area. And so there's a tremendous amount of what we call suits. And 5 o'clock in that area, Efrain, it's all suits. And
yeah, absolutely.
It's pretty wild. And my very first day in my life cold calling was the Scotia Plaza. And I went up and I ended up getting 8 cards that day. The whole day, 8 hours, I got 8 cards. 8 business cards. Because our job at the time was to go get a business card, go back to the office and call them. And I called my dad up. What the hell am I doing here? And he's like, Scott, suck it up. He had no empathy for me whatsoever. He was like, this is a job. And we all make the same face on the shitter. He's like, you're walking into these offices, and they have a job to do. You have a job to do. You're not causing any harm. Just be yourself. And that's it. And, with that mentality, the next day I ended up getting 45 cards. And, of course, from that point forward, I got sales awards and did really, really well. And I was never afraid of that. And now I'm trying to convey that message to others like yourself that, hey, you should be damn proud of what you do. You're going to change people's lives. You're walking into this business. One thing we haven't even talked about is the LMS app, which, by the way, you guys can download for free. And it gives you a bunch of artillery information that you could use when you're walking into these businesses and say, okay, you're ranking number 1 and whatnot. I want to earn the right to the business, earn the right to a meeting with this individual here. I think confidence is the one big caveat that holds people back from getting that initial meeting.
I think, I totally agree with you, and it's as I was saying before, right? It's getting through that little hurdle, and then once you're done that first drop off, you're like, whoa, you know what? Nothing actually happened. People in majority are nice if you're nice to them. If you're respectful, they'll be respectful with you. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's that confidence of knowing that you know your thing, you know your stuff, you know what you're doing, and other people. You can actually help other people. You can actually help other businesses get more clients, and I think that is a big stepping stone into just doing it.
Well, that's good to hear, man. I could do an entire hour or two just talking to you about the challenges that you faced, challenges other people faced, and how you felt with them and whatnot. But I really wanted to bring you on, say hello to a few listeners here and whatnot. And guys, I wanted to introduce Efrain to the local marketing source community. Because we're figuring out ways on how Efrain could be more involved with local marketing source, sharing some of his successes, sharing some of his experiences, and translating that into further content to help you guys. So, dude, I want to thank you for your time today. We're going to go and we're going to take a look at specifically what AMP pages are now and how this affects the local SEO infrastructure and ecosystem, and then we've got a surprise for everybody. So thank you very much, Efrain.
No worries, Scott. Thank you very much for bringing me out here, and yeah, man, can't wait to see the rest of your webinar.
Cool, dude. All right, we'll chat soon.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you later.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and hang up on Mr. Efrain there. You know, it was a lot of fun trying to get Skype into broadcast software to go on Facebook. And it was a matter of getting something called, I'm not a big techie guy, but you know, you had to get Soundflower and then drive the audio to this product and then have this product send it out to both here and the internet and then capture this frame and crop it and do all these things. So I really hope that it was able to come through. I am looking at everything right now. I could see that the video is still a little bit choppy. I'm only running at 20 frames a second, not 30 frames a second that I should be. I wanted to make sure that we were able to get it through and watch the processing power and all that joy. But right now I'm going to jump over to we're going to take a look at AMP pages and what accelerated mobile pages are and how they affect your local SEO. So as a reminder, we've gone through the 3 different pillars: CPR, content, profiles, and reviews. And now I'm going to go and hit this button, and that will put my slide back up. And then I'll go back over. Oh, I can't do that. Then I'll go back over and do this. And I'm learning that if I'm going to be doing this software, let me get rid of that logo. That doesn't look very good there. So we don't need it. And I'll move this here. I think I need somebody to help run this for me in the background. What do you think, Parth? All right. So what is AMP? AMP stands for Accelerated Mobile Pages. It is an initiative that was put together by Google and Twitter, and really what AMP are is another set of pages. So you've got you could have your website, and you could already have a mobile version, and now there's a third version that you may want to incorporate called AMP, or Accelerated Mobile Pages. And what they are is they're just stripped down HTML. They allow things to load a lot faster. Now, when I say that 20% of the weight of ranking, that's not on AMP. I want to be clear on this. That is on the page factors. Okay? On the page factors for a local website. If you're a local marketing source student, just hop into the portal and download the on the page factor checklist. We've got 12 different items that you can check off to make sure they look at title tags, H1 tags, navigation down in the bottom, text-based navigation in the bottom, location page, best practices for the location page, like making sure how the NAP is set up, or making sure that you've got a Google map from your webmaster account integrated into it, etc., etc. Those are all the on-the-page factors, and now what we're adding is AMP into that. Now, AMP has been around for a couple of years, but it was only in 2017 that we have started to see AMP pages in the SERPs. And it was September 6th of this year that we started to see AMP description snippets found in the SERPs. And that's when we made a decision at Local Marketing Source that this is now a ranking factor that is on the horizon. The local SEO community has not collectively come out and said that this is a major ranking factor. But I've said this before, I've made this bet before, and I've always won this bet. Every year they come out, the local SEO community comes out with local search ranking factors. And in 2018, we're going to see AMP pages as a factor. It's not going to be the highest, but after these changes, I've seen it in the SERPs, mark my words. We're now converting all of our clients over and making sure that they have AMP pages. I've already begun educating the local marketing source community on it. Now I am letting the public know of our stance on accelerated mobile pages. It is necessary. And there's a plugin for WordPress that you can go and get. It is still tweaking a lot of different things. And Yoast as well is also working on a component of AMP pages for Yoast SEO. It is not available in Yoast yet. And if you go and get the AMP plugin, AMP-WP, for accelerated mobile pages, WordPress, you get this plugin. What I'm saying, beware of the implications that if you're running Yoast SEO, AMP is going to overwrite some of those Yoast SEO settings. So you've got to get another plugin, and I forget what that one's called. Glue. Yoast Glue. I should have had that in my notes. So you've got the AMP plugin. You've probably already got Yoast. And now you want to get what's called a Yoast Glue that allows Yoast to talk to AMP. A little confusing? Possibly. But maybe 2 months, maybe 6 months from now, that Glue plugin is going to be eliminated because both Yoast and AMP-WP have made claims that they are working on the solution for that because of the implications to search and SEO. In addition to that, today AMP is only creating AMP pages for posts, categories, and your media gallery. If your theme has other elements that fall off of the categorical theme concept, you will be able to create AMP pages for them. But it will not create AMP pages for a standard web page. I know. The other thing that you need to know about the implications is your sitemap. AMP pages are not automatically included into your sitemap, so you want to go and manually add that into your sitemap. And at least, you know what, even easier than that, go to Google Webmaster Tools and include it into the sitemap through Webmaster Tools. And essentially, it's going to be your address, www.domainname.com /post, whatever post it is, or you could take the URL of a post and at the end of that add /AMP. That's going to be your AMP URL. Okay? So, having said all of this, guys, I am not saying that this is mandatory. Nor am I saying that this is something you need to be doing right now. I am giving you a heads up that sometime in the next 12 months, this is going to become mandatory. It is going to become necessary. It is something that you should be starting to think about more and starting to implement with your clients. We held off on it for quite some time and not discussed it, wanted to test it in different ways and to make sure that everything was working properly. All right. Let me get through some slides here. Uh-oh. We freezing? And I'm going to go over to this last slide right here. And I'm going to take 5 minutes, guys, right now to talk a little bit about the Local Marketing Source membership and what we've got. But more importantly, for anybody that's been sitting on the fence for the membership, we've got a 50% discount right now. It's the end of the summer discount, the beginning of hockey discount. So we usually, at this time of year, we usually do something around Black Friday in November. But we decided to do it at the beginning of September, the beginning of the fourth quarter, as people are ramping up and whatnot. This is a great time to sell, a great time to get new clients. So I just want to quickly go over what you get with the membership. Essentially, it's a portal, it's a community that has all the education and all the support that you need. So there's over 100 training videos, archived Q&A, there's a variety of different webinars, workbooks. There's over 60 different downloadable files that allow you to manage the execution, the step-by-steps, the checklists, all those things. You get instant access to it like that. More importantly, you get access to a private Facebook group. This is an area that's only active local marketing source students that are asking questions and whatnot. And we do live calls where you can speak to me, and I'll answer any questions that you have, deliver all of those. You get access. In addition to that, we'll do client hot seats, very similar to running that you saw today with Efrain, but we run it in a back end. It's not public, and we've been doing it for years, so it's a heck of a lot smoother than what you saw today. It is a little bit more scripted. We do practice it. It's not nearly as raw, though. It's mainly there to help you as much as we can. You get the ongoing support that you want. Nothing, not watered down. It's just endless of all the different topics. We're constantly creating content and putting it in right now. Like I said, there's over 100 different training videos, over 60 hours of training. This is what the portal looks like. Let's go take a quick little look at it right now. I'm going to bump over to the portal, and when you log in, everything is broken into building your business. So that is managing all the different elements of it, marketing fundamentals, sales acquisition, how to get clients. There's even some business basics information in here on elements of accounting and whatnot. I'm not here for that. Organic SEO and organic marketing, different elements of that, and local SEO and the different elements of local SEO. Taking a look at the resource directory here, you get access to dozens and dozens. You've got sales and marketing resources available for your agency. Let's go and look at operational resources here. And these are downloadable files, new client implementation, different checklists, documents, management files, all these wonderful things. Again, I'm going to send you to a sales page. There are testimonial videos on there. There's hundreds of different testimonials that we have of students who have gone through the program in different ways. I'm not going to run through any of that right now. But I think that the biggest value that you get with Local Marketing Source is the support. And we're real. I am accessible. With this, I'm going to give you a bonus that you're going to get my direct cell number. You're going to have direct access to me on Skype. You're going to be on the weekly calls. You'll have access to a private Facebook mastermind group. A lot of different things. Phone support. You can call us. You won't see my cell phone number on this presentation, but if you do sign up, you will get my cell phone number. We've got a support management desk that is managed and looked at and watched all the time by people. And, of course, email. You can get us. Now, as a bonus, if you're going to sign up, this offer is going to expire at the end of this weekend. I'll tell you the price in a moment. But you're going to be able to get our free app, downloadable app. You get this is an application on your mobile device that is find all the local fruit in your area. You can use the strategy that Efrain talked about and bring your book. You are going to get a copy of my book that you slap your name on it. You're going to get a free consultation with me. Right off the bat. Direct contact information to me. I had just already mentioned the book and the template for that book. It cost me $2.31 every time I want to print this. And normally, our regular price, you get all of this, of course, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, but we charge $100 a month for this service. Cancel anytime, no contract. Some people will come in for 3 months. $300 access to all of this. I've got training in here that comes from my university degree. I've got training that comes from my 25 years of sales experience. There's training in here in 12 years, going on 13 years, of delivering SEO. There's a huge collection of education that I have accumulated over the years, and I'm giving it to you. Not only to the education that you're getting with that, you're getting my experiences and the stories and experiences of all my students. You can't put a price to that. You can try it out today for $47 per month. Your first payment's going to be $47, and that sale ends this Sunday the 24th. If it doesn't work for you, we'll give you your money back. We know that there's a percentage of you that are going to ask for your money back. There are the jerks out there that are going to buy into the program and go and download everything, ask for their money back, and go and put it on the internet. So I'm telling you right now, you can find some of my videos out on the internet. Who cares? Everything I teach, one way or another, is available. But what you are getting is the community, and you're getting the collection. Everything that's out on the internet is not nicely organized into a portal. Not all the files. It's not all updated, etc., etc. So give it a shot. There's the URL. Now, this is where I share something that's a little embarrassing. Local marketing source, we just switched from Rackspace to Liquid Web hosting. We also use all of our videos, by the way, are hosted on Amazon S3, so there's no lag time or anything of that nature, regardless of how many people are on it. But our website is hosted on Liquid Web, I think it's called. And I couldn't get into the FTP to update this landing page. So when you go to this landing page, it is a landing page that we used for our promotion last year. And I wasn't able to update the date. We contacted Liquid Web, and when I logged in, our credit card had expired, so it said your account is currently suspended. I went, oh shit. And so I paid the bill, $182, and then they said, well, it's going to take up to 2 hours for all of our accounts to update. In turn, you can't get in. I went, oh my God, I wanted to change one date on this form. And that resulted into a problem on that landing page. So please, please, just disregard that for now. If you happen to see that, we are going to be updating that probably within the next couple of hours. Disregard any problems. It's still going to go through. If there's any issues that you have, my email address is scottg@localmarketingsource.com. But we will have that page fixed very, very soon. But other than that, now that I'm all red and embarrassed, I hate getting into something we had scheduled this, done promotion for it, and something I didn't anticipate. And let's face it, that's the problem with having these credit cards on file. They expire. You don't update everything. And I take responsibility. I probably should have checked it last night, not this morning. So, all right. So on that note, I'm going to go back to here, and I will go back to Facebook. Make sure I'm still live. I think I'm still live. Still says we got people on, but it kind of froze in one different spot there. And we try to do this inside of 1 hour, and I've got 1 minute and 10 seconds left. All right. So just as a review, guys, what we talked about today is we talked about 1, customer acquisition, 2, the 3 pillars of local SEO and the strategies of that. More so on the page factors in regards to AMP, accelerated mobile pages. And finally, a little bit of an overview of the Local Marketing Source membership, what you get, how you can get your 30-day money-back guarantee if that's the route that you chose. If you don't get value from what you see, that's fine. Take your money. I know that we've delivered value to a lot of different people. A lot of people, and if it's a good fit for you, it's a great fit. For us, we want to have you aboard and help you grow your agency in 2018. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and hit the end button in 8 seconds to be right at 60 minutes. I want to thank you